If you don't put 7 E's, the email will not work. Mcyee can attest to that himself. The shit did not work because I needed to have 7 E's on that, and that's like a trademark issue, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, it was 9 of them.
Yeah, that's right. That's what's up. 7 times, yes. That is my name. I am Mcyee with 7 E's. So we got some serious Frisco like history in the building actually right now. Big draws to the left of me. We got Mcyee, RBL Posse in the building. Let them know who else you brought with you, see.
Man, we got my boy H2MGAR, man, originally from the Hardheads.
Okay.
1/2 of the Hardheads doing his solo thing now.
Okay, so that's dope. Made sure I told y'all to bring them with you because they're definitely, y'all are overdue. I was supposed to bring y'all in a long time ago, so we'll definitely get you booked for another show as well. So for the listeners out there, for people who may be living under a rock, like I say, who are you and where are you from? What's your name, where are you from?
Oh, me? RBL, man. Black T, RBL, man. The originator, the starter, the inventor of that shit.
Yes, yes.
RBL Posse, man. The beat, man. The man behind the beats.
How did the name Ruthless by Law get started? How did that start?
That my boy T-Lo gave us that name. It just sounded good, so we rocked with it. We was actually called the Hit Squad.
Okay. And
then EPMD and them, you know, Parrish and them or whatever, they used it, and we was like, yeah, we gotta go back to the drawing board. And my boy T-Lo, who Herm Lewis from Black Power,
right,
put him out. T-Lo came with his solo album. He the one that gave us the name. Cause I was originally trying to actually go in the studio with T-Lo. He was about to be a member of RBL, but he flaked out and introduced me to Mr. C, and the rest was history.
Yeah, super history.
He gave us the name, though, Ruthless by Law, and we shortened it up.
Man, your voice, just hearing your voice, like if I close my eyes right now, it's like I'm listening to my whole life. You know, like your soup, that soup makes me feel like at home. You know, like your voice makes me feel at home. I used to smack your albums when I was super young, like 16 to 24, I would say. And I was telling the story, I was telling him before we came in on air, that the original hat I got from them was at, I had a birthday party like 2 years ago through Boss Lady Products. And of course, you know, I'm thinking I'm VIP, you know, VIE, it's my birthday. I fuck with RBL, like they know me hella tough. So I'm on stage rocking and singing Bluebird and doing the ad-libs like I do everybody else. You know, like Yee Diddy and this bitch. And he's like, here, have a hat and a shirt. And he was like, let's sit down with it. And I was like, okay, you know, I was super drunk, but super humbled. So I really appreciate y'all's love, even from the beginning. And I know I interviewed you at Amina years ago. I just don't even very vaguely remember that, you know, like.
Yeah, the other little, Sacktown Radio.
Yeah, Sacktown Radio comes FM. So it was like one of my very first interviews. So I've been interviewing legends for a long time. Long time. Let's give them a little bit of history about the Bammer Weed song, because it's such a staple in this even it's internationally a staple. Marijuana is such a popular culture now. I mean, it's always been a popular culture to you, obviously, but nationally and legally, people are actually talking about it now. So how did the song Bammer Weed come about? How'd y'all get started with that?
Yeah, that was actually, that was going to be part, I did like a solo project I was selling. I was pushing around Hunters Point with a few songs like I had Rolling Through the Turfs of HP, and Can't Say a Nigga Gay from the East Bay, which I thought, at one point I thought Frisco was the East Bay. I don't know, it was the West Bay.
Somebody corrected you?
Yeah. But yeah, we had that, and I had, it was actually called Don't Give Me No Bammer Joint. We don't smoke that shit in Hunters Point.
Right, I remember.
And then, yeah, we was pushing that around Hunters Point. It took off, and the original version actually had my boy T the Lee, Madman on there, and my boy T Rob, you know what I mean? So it ended up taking off around there, and yeah, once I took it to TC and brought Mr. C in, we ended up switching it up to bring the whole city in. We ended up switching it Don't Give Me No Bammer Weed. We don't smoke that shit in the SFC.
Right.
In order to try to bring Sunnydale, Fillmore, Lakeview, everybody together, you know, to support it. Because I knew if I'd have came with that Hunters Point, you know, it would have kind of locked me down to only Hunters Point. It wouldn't have traveled up off the hill. So, yeah, that's how that came about, you know. And
Sacramento has their own version of it too, the SAC. We don't smoke that shit in the SAC.
Of course. There's a lot of versions out there. There's a lot of remixes, and, you know, I love the younger generation redoing, you know, remixing, you know, bringing that energy back, you know. I seen Fab just brought it back on his new album, you know, that 2006 one. And, you know, no Bammer hoes or something, no Bammer vibes, Bammer bitch, yeah. Bammer bitch. Yeah. It's pretty dope. So Tracks a Million redid that one over, man. You know, props to Tracks a Million for flipping that. But
right.
Yeah, it's been spreading. The younger generation been getting up on it, keeping us alive. You know what I mean?
That's
keeping
dope.
the torch lit for it.
Super, super dope. So what would you say your favorite song of y'all's is?
I don't have no all-time favorite, but if I had to pick, it'd probably be a tie between Bamberweed and Bluebird.
Yeah, Bluebird
like,
is also it's like it's an anthem.
Yeah,
it's an anthem.
Yeah, that was like one, and it actually kind of it got a little bigger than Bamberweed. Little people know, you know, Bamberweed is staying lit through the the weed world, but that Bluebird, man, the gangbangers,
through the 12 world, right?
Yeah, the Latino generation just, man, they love it.
Yeah,
you know, they blew it up. So.
We definitely like to shoot the bluebirds on our shoulders.
Yeah.
Definitely, and I now have a hat for that, so I'll represent that to the fullest.
Yes.
I also was telling the story a little bit about Jeff Kwan, By the Pound Media. You know, he's a very big supporter of you guys, and he was one of the first people to ever get me your Lesson to Be Learned CD. It was still under the plastic. I still have it. It was signed by you, and it was just like this. That was just one of the biggest gifts I've ever received. You know, it's not monetary. It's not about money. It's like you just can't replace that. You know, those are my memories and my history, all in one shrink wrapped container. So how do you know this guy right here?
The draw from the hill.
Yeah.
You know, that's 211, man. You know, 211, 11-5. Cold World Hustlers, RTD, you know, we all family, man. We all from that hill over there, man. So,
such a legendary time.
Grew up around each other, you know. They can vouch for the history.
Right.
I knew who that dude was before I ever met him.
Right. Right.
I heard this nigga name before I ever met him.
Black Sea.
There was certain names that was ringing when I was a child.
Yeah, before rap shit.
Before rap
Just
shit.
hood motherfucker.
Ain't real life though.
Real hood shit.
What was your biggest obstacle when you were putting your music out? Because I know it was way harder back then. We didn't have social media. We didn't have Instagram. And MySpace was just starting, like, right when y'all were coming up.
Yeah, the only obstacle was really trying to get distribution. I didn't know nothing about it. We were just pressing it up and going outside, moving and selling it around the hood. And it was just trying to find out how to get it in stores and do like what E40 and all them was doing with St. Charles and them, you know what I mean? So basically, and also trying to press it up, you know what I mean? We ended up finding a place called Music Annex. I think they was out there in San Mateo somewhere. And we found out that was when it was on the cassettes. You know, that was the first obstacle, just finding out how to press it up.
Those are little square tapes with tape in it.
Exactly, cassettes. For those that don't know. You know what I mean? CDs is starting to get extinct right now.
Right.
So.
We used to have tapes, bro.
Cassette tapes.
Remember that? And you'd have to punch the bottom out and record over it, put the paper in it.
You know, get ate up by the deck, gotta use that, that pencil to
spin it back.
When you spin it back, then it sound warpy when you play it until the tape straight back.
Oh man, I used to do it though. I did. I played it until the song. My first.
Richie Rich and D-Loc and all them. You know, that's what we even use to the old school hood where I'm known the most. We sampled D-Loc and them. That I Ain't No Joke. Soft and Wet Prince came from a sample that I heard in one of their songs. It was like they was Brother Broski, Richie Rich, and D-Loc was like was the ones. I say the originators. And besides them, it was Cool Nut. You know, IMP.
Right.
They showed like when Cool Nut came out with Scandalous and I'm Rolling and all that. I was like, okay, it can be done.
Right.
You know, we got somebody from the city doing it. And you know, besides them, it was NWA. You know, NWA, D-Loc, and IMP. You know, 415 IMP. Them was as far as rap influences. But as far as producers, it was like Code 187 from Above the Law. And
oh man, Black Superman Above the Law, right?
Yeah. Code 187, man. He influenced me a lot when it came to doing the beats. Besides him, you know, it's like Dr. Dre's and. Later on in life, you know, it started being different ones like Selski's and
I love Selski.
TC's, and you know, I started getting feeding off of a lot of producers, Enhancer, you know, so yeah.
Well, we have some of your brethren that comes in here sometime. Herminator comes in here.
Herminator, yeah.
I know he's right under you.
Man, yeah, them.
He gives you credit for all of his.
Yeah, they come from that RBL tree.
Yes.
You know.
Super dope too. Super dope producer. Tap in on her.
Doing his thing. He was supposed to have been up over. He was supposed to came through tonight, but I don't know what happened. But
it's cool. He knows where I'm at. He can come anytime. As far as the songs you sent over, what would you like to play first? What do you want to let him hear?
Well, we can go with let's give him something new for my boy H2MG AR. You know, here we
and then we're gonna talk a little bit about his influences too. Obviously, I know it's probably Black Sea. We're gonna do Riches.
Let's do Riches.
Okay, let's go into Riches. DJ Rusruthless on the board. 360 Radio, Connected Radio, the Yee area. Run that shit out.
Couple homies I grew up with, CW the Third, Drake Cheddar, Trey Trigger.
Okay.
You feel me? So we was the hard heads, and we start bringing more of our niggas to the table. So we bought H2MG. You know what I mean? So people won't get confused and think we get new members for the H2 hard heads. So we became an H2 music group.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Which is short for H2MG. And I made my name H2MG AR. They might know me as AR for H2 hard heads, but you know in this digital era, you can't look that up on iTunes. Right. You gotta just leave it as AR, and it's hella AR. So I had to find a way to differentiate myself from other artists.
So obviously you've listened to them, you know, coming up as a youngster.
Yeah, like, see, my first cousin. This is the one that introduced me to the music.
And that's what made you want to get into it, or do you have any other influences? What did you listen to? What did you like?
My first tape was Let's
Tape,
See Me
you hear that, y'all?
Cassette tape. I'm an 80s baby.
Right.
Second tape was E40 and the Click Down to Dirty Hustlers.
Thank you, with the cutlass on the front, right?
Third tape was Cold World Hustlers.
Oh.
So it's like, you know, I got family from Hunters Point, Fillmore. My dad and his side from Fillmore. So when I go to Fillmore, I get the East Coast influences. I'm hearing the Dies Effects, the Public Enemies, and you know, the Wu-Tangs. I go back to Harbor Road, I'm hearing that gangster shit. You know, shout out my step pops Flop, you feel me? He playing that Dr. Dre, the Chronic. You feel me?
That's a classic album.
You know, playing that, you know, bitch, give me some motherfucking zigzags. I'm a youngster hearing this, you feel me? So I was fascinated by the music, and I didn't have no siblings for a long time, so music was like somebody I could speak to. You know what I mean? My grandma bought me a karaoke machine. Same thing with the tapes. I'm doing doubles. I got my cousins rapping in Fillmore.
Right. Got
a little fake label called Real Tight Records. You feel me? I'm doing my CEO shit. You feel me? So it was like, music was like my therapy. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when I turned like 18, that's when I was ready to bring in the big cuz, because I was always around freestyles with Hitman, Toe to Tag. I'm talking about real freestyles.
Right.
And just amazed. You feel me? But I was always like shy to spit in front of Black Sea.
Really,
you know
I would be too.
Even on Harbor Road, RP Mo Matthews, we used to be youngins freestyling on Sega Genesis games. In the Brown houses, we go walk to Northridge, the Black Sea studio. He freestyling, like, come on, Armand. I'm sitting there hella shy, like, you know, not saying nothing. You feel me? But been working the whole time, you feel me, just under him watching him, you know what I'm saying?
It's definitely a great mentor. Like,
yeah.
You're not. Same with Draw. Same with, it's all of y'all. Like, I'm just super juiced to have you here. So I thank you again.
I go a long way too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's super juice. Like, this is the perfect platform for you guys, because I have young artists from all over, not just Sacramento, not just the Bay, but they're watching and they're trying to mold their craft off of what y'all did, you know, and what you're still doing. Some of your numbers are whooping people's asses still to this day.
What do you mean some? Like, wait.
Okay, say
wait a minute.
Say all of
this shit over here. What do you mean some?
All of
I'm just gonna keep it solid, just for a second, because I know everybody like be on politics. I don't give a fuck because I'm not scared of none of you motherfuckers. But let's keep it solid. There is no group in the history of the motherfucking California that did what this man did independent. I'm not dissing Loonies. I'm not dissing 3 Times. None of them. They were all signed. He did $250,000 independent, bro.
Right.
250.
That's why I needed to be taught that. Can you just be my teacher?
I'm not disrespecting them. These are facts, bro. These are facts. 250 indie. I was in fucking Dakota. I was in Dakota. I was in North Dakota and fucking... let me fuck your head up.
Right.
I was in fucking North Dakota in '94, and some car rolled by banging.
Right.
More like an orgy, and I'm like, they ain't even heard the new one yet. They banging it in North Dakota, bro.
Right.
I'm like,
and like he said, that's just the SoundScan numbers. That's not the shit that went under.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for real.
And it's sick. It's hella sick to me. Like, I'm gonna get out the way, but it's hella sick to me because, like, when I first started traveling, motherfuckers be like, "Where y'all from?" And I would say the city, and like, "Oh, So you know RBL? I said, man, them dudes from where I'm from. But it's ill because when you leave California, everybody thinks LA and the Bay are right next to each other.
91, 92.
So that's definitely a challenge right there. That has to be a challenge going up against that type of politics. And I mean, you lost your 2 members. Like, you're the surviving member. So that had to be hard. Like, how do you even keep going after that? You know, like, that's hard.
You know, but I lost a lot before them, so it kind of prepared me. You know, I lost a lot of close ones, like, before I even met Mr. C and Hitman. You know, one of my best friends, you know, got took down, went down for like 14, 15 years on something he didn't do. You know, it was a lot of stuff jumping off.
Right.
And, you know, a lot of people didn't know, you know, I'm one of the reasons, too, why this shit has stopped in Frisco. You know, I'm the one of the reason why me and JT and Fote and all of us was able to perform and get together.
Right. You
know, I brought Filmo and Sunnydale and Hunters Point all together off our first album.
Positively.
Yeah, I brought them up there. We did a little truce, and we was rocking at the Stone, you know, like a week or 2 later, you know what I mean, out there on Broadway. So, yeah, I ended up stopping that shit. You know, I lost my eye, got shot in the eye and everything.
That was the one Pac was at, right? The Stone, the big one?
Yeah.
Yeah, when the fight
That's when the Filmo dudes got on Pac.
Yeah.
You know, but that happened after our show. That was like about 2 weeks later.
And then Mac 10 and Fee got into it that night.
Yeah, it was going down.
I was like a puppy at that shit.
So much. I bet. So much history. So much history involved in this. Who would you say did you do your first production and music through? Like, where did you record when you first started recording?
In my studio, and then I went to, well, I did a lot. I had my own setup, so I go up and prepare everything in my studio, and then I go down to TC, and man, TC brought everything to life. I got down there, and he was just a magician with some samples and stuff, man. He just knew how to chop them up. Any sample I brought up, he knew how to patch it together. I'm putting in salt and pepper with third base with, you know, Ohio players, and he'll make it all just mesh together. You know, I give TC props for that. A lot of people thought he produced our album, but he was really the man behind my production, engineering it, making sure, you know, tightening everything up, making sure the samples is on beat, you know, making sure the claps is hitting right, the 909s, the 808s is slapping right, you know what I mean, and my P-Funk clap is clapping. You know,
and you know the Bay has that. It's known for that warm sound, that music, that warmth, Bay Area music, in my opinion. So that's where y'all started at. Like, you started that warm Bay Area sound. Jay Jonah from CIN is watching. He's like, tell me to calm down. I know, I'm excited. He's been in here too. That's another big influence. Like CIN, you know, 94 Mops is like, I'm born in 76, so I graduated in 94. So I'm an old school hoe. You know, like, I like all this. This is my shit. I ain't gonna calm down, bruh.
Them 70s, baby.
Right, and you had an album around that too, and I busted the shit out of that album.
All them old school samples and loops, man, let's take it back to the 70s.
Draws he's funny. You know, we sat in here and talked for hours the last time he was here. He told us stories about being in Germany, like all kinds of crazy shit.
Hey, blood. You back a nigga bitch in Germany, bro? That nigga he was chasing us on the Autobahn, no lie. Everybody can corroborate the story. That was Al Capone, everybody was with it. And he was like, nigga, quit hating, nigga. Your bitch got in the van with us. It's over, nigga. She chose, nigga. Accept that L, nigga. The bitch with us, nigga. That's it. Quit hating. You hating, nigga. You hating. We just going. He's like, what is this hate you keep speaking of? But he didn't understand. He didn't understand, bro. He didn't understand.
What you doing right now?
What do you mean? You're taking my girl. What do you mean? I love her. Well, she don't love you.
Well, right, that part. She got in the van. Right? She got in the van. Just saying. So we're gonna go into one of yours next. So let's do Dope Boy. Can we do Dope Boy?
Yeah, with 40.
Yeah, with 40, no big deal. It's just a fucking huge song. I'm just saying. Like, I'm super excited.
I'm only, but I ain't really on it as much. You know, I'm doing it now because everybody else.
Right, so but isn't it weird to look around and see that shit?
But I don't usually be on the phone too much, man. You know, my folks get on me because I don't post enough on our page to kind of get more followers. I'm just like real private when it comes to shit. I don't like posting my food and my shoes and outfits.
Well, if you ever need an intern to post for you, you just call at me. I'm real good at that stuff. Just saying, I'll work for hats.
I got to have something. There got to be an event coming up, some new merchandise.
I'll work for a sweater, no problem.
I said work for a sweater.
No problem at all. What's the future for you? What do you got going on? What's the future for you?
Just doing what I'm doing right now. Just assisting my cousin right here. Doing his thing, trying to get him in that dough. And we just trying to find some new talent that's gonna keep the torch lit. I'm lightweight sliding out of it a little bit, man. I'm making more money just doing shows, doing the touring type thing.
Right.
Shows and moving the merchandise. The merchandise been going so good. It's kind of like, you don't really want to get out here in this microwave era. They moving too fast for me. And I like working on a project, like really taking my time and putting together an album and trying to get it out. Now it's just like quick mixtape, mix singles, videos. You got to like move fast nowadays, and they gonna forget about you. You know what I mean?
We were kind of talking about the comparisons. It's like we used to, when I interviewed Mcyee Marv, we were talking about the video comparisons. Like it used to cost $350,000. Maybe one day I'll do a video. Yeah. Maybe one day. I'd love to get involved in something like that. And for production, can people holler at you to produce for them?
I don't really produce too much no more. It ain't really no money in it. It ain't enough to motivate me to get up and want to. Okay. I'm dabbling, Big Draws done came over there, got me juiced up. I done reignited my studio. And, I've been dabbling around with it, but
I'm taking no credit in that.
Big Trouble in Little China, this guy.
But for the most part, my young comrades, Big Herminator and Slapadelic, Rome Slapadelic, man, I done passed the torch to them.
Dope.
And they doing their thing. So, get that Big Herminator, man, and Slapadelic, man, they got them.
Definitely, we definitely will. So let's go ahead and talk to Mr. AR real quick, a little bit more. Hustlanity Mobism, I see you tuned in. Thank you, Chris. I fuck with you to death. Anytime you want to come up here, anytime, even if you want to come hang, like just have a drink, like listen to the music, whatever. If you're here in SAC on a Monday night, Tuesday night, slide through 360. So AR, what do you got going? You got live shows?
Yeah, live shows right now. I'm just getting my money together, man. Trying to figure out a way to attack this industry instead of just dropping tapes. Trying to be a little more strategic. You know what I mean? So recently I got that Risk and Rewards. That's available right now. Okay. On all platforms.
Oh, Max Sean tuned in. I see you, Max Sean.
Heart of a Giant. That's available right now. That's a full-length album.
Slapper.
Yeah, I got Mcyee on there
right now with Mcyee, man. That's nice.
Nice, nice.
I got LUDACRIS on there.
Do we have that? Oh, I think we have that.
Sent the one with Mcyee.
We have the one with LUDACRIS too. Yeah, for sure.
I got the Mcyee one.
Yeah, Mozzy's killing it right now. His whole album is really, really dope. Congratulations to that man. He's making a real big move.
So I'm just grinding right now, trying to figure out a way to attack this new wave generation we in. You feel me?
Right.
When we started, we got in on the MySpace as far as my group.
Me too.
H2 Hardheads. You feel me? But yeah. So
MySpace was super like you used to be able to play a song on your profile.
Our shit used to go up.
Right.
We used to kind of get nervous to put new songs of motivation as far as production wise. Because it's Heart of a Giant, this shit go crazy. I can still push that because it's still kind of like unheard of. I got production by SF Tracks. I got a lot of that mob feel, you know what I mean, that we grew up on, like that song y'all was just playing, Riches. That's on YouTube, Pro Exclusive Young Kids. Shot that.
Yeah, they did
like
really 22K. Good job. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So until then, my boy Taylor Don, he just got out the pen, so we finna get this H2MG shit back rolling.
Nice. Well, I'd love to have you guys come back on a solo hype, and just do your own show here too. For sure. Definitely bring you back in. And we're gonna go into another one of the songs right now. I think we have the one with LUDACRIS, and that's
you got that Mind Made too if you want to go with that one. Either one.
Oh yeah, let's do that Mind Made since we in SAC.
Mind Made.
Shit, nigga.
Ain't concerned nothing but getting money and getting women who getting money to get it for me. I'm living scummy through the grind, come a lot of grit. And when you start to doing good, it come a lot of shit. I got a lot of sticks for a lot of clicks. Hate our politics, our haters politic. They speak on us, the gang fame, they deep on us. Little do they know the shit we keep on us. Yeah.
blood, let me hit the bookies if it's still lit. You know the labels talking paper, hope the deal stick. Dudes know I got it regardless, that's on some real shit. Sing the chicken with my illest, tell them ring it up. They pop my little nigga, he'll kill you if you bring it up. Game 10 song blitz, that's why you see me tough. And 50,000 ain't shit, that's the easy tough. Pick up a book and read something, get your mind right. We only do that type of shit while doing time right. It's a mutual understanding with this kind of life. Browsing like Wi-Fi and do this shit on my site. It's a mutual understanding with this kind of life. Browsing like Wi-Fi and do this shit on our site.
I'm made up, been a grind paid up for a lot of shit. I got a lot of shit.
I still have like old school, like probably they called it prop back then, like merch. The merch that y'all used to push at the shows. I remember my first show, you know, with RBL Posse. It was like, it was at EXPO. It was with LUDACRIS. It was like 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
About 30 deep at that
Right, y'all came in two vans. Everybody had black masks on with the RBL on it. I was looking around like I'm in fucking heaven. A lot of people were looking around like they were gonna get shot.
LUDACRIS was scared to get out
Luda was scared to get out of the limo, right? That you remember. Right, he didn't even want to do the
next
show.
Day he was in Seattle and gave us love.
Right.
He was like, man, RBL. He was like, man, he thought we was running the whole West Coast.
Yeah.
He was looking out there.
I remember that.
In Seattle, my boy Jay Brick, like, man, LUDACRIS just gave y'all a shout out.
Right.
I'm like, what? I said, he just left us yesterday.
Yes, because I was there. I remember my girl bought the tickets for Luda, and I was like, no, I'm going to see RBL Posse. You know, and I mean, and Luda was cool, but I fuck with the local shit, you know. And she was like, Luda! I said, no, you don't see the 30 fucking people over there in the corner, like, that are mobbed down? You know, like, that's RBL right there. And they're from right down the freeway. That's our people. So that's when I first connected with y'all, and then it was like the music from then just took off. And everything I heard from you is just classic. And again, I want to give you your props from me. I know that's really not a big deal, but as a fan, they always support One World Magazine. Like they're still keeping the Bay Area alive, even though y'all got it. Like the music definitely does it to this day. We need people that are putting still pictures on paper, publishing actual magazines, not digital magazines. You know, no offense to any digital platforms, but the world is eventually going to go back to paper some point, and the digital might fail, you know, like, so we might as well I keep all my stuff. So we're going to definitely get some pictures against this wall with y'all, and like I said, we've been filming, so we're going to do a recap of it. I do want to go into, we got 129, so I'm having his family come in and Live and Proof come in and quarterback that interview for him. They were working with him real tough, so they'll be in next week. T-Back Hemi will be in next week. Heat got him next week. I got hella fucking shows coming up. I've booked like 1.5 million people, but you guys were one of my bucket list interviews. You know, like, I know we had sat down initially at Sacktown Radio, but I was nowhere near where I am right now. Right. So I'm very, very proud to have you in here. Like, interview on the 29th, so I'm having his family come in and Live and Proof come in and quarterback that interview for him. They were working with him real tough, so they'll be in next week. T-Back Hemi will be in next week. Heat got him next week. I got hella fucking shows coming up. I've booked like 1.5 million people, but you guys were one of my bucket list interviews. You know, like, I know we had sat down initially at Sacktown Radio, but I was nowhere near where I am right now. So I'm very, very proud to have you in here. Like, very, very thankful.